5 Ways to Deal with Disrespect, Stoic Philosophy, Stoicism. Have you ever felt like some people just have no problem crossing your boundaries? They talk over you, make snide remarks, or act like your time and emotions don't matter. And society tells us to just let it go, right? Well, not anymore. If you're tired of letting disrespect slide and are ready to take control of your peace and self-worth, this video is for you. Today, I'm diving into 5 powerful Stoic strategies to handle disrespect with poise and confidence, without compromising your values. These tips are practical, and yes, they might challenge the way you've been reacting so far. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools to stand firm, protect your peace, and show the world exactly how you deserve to be treated. Let's get started here on Stoic in Your Life. Number 1. Embrace the silent stare. Dealing with disrespect is one of life's inevitable challenges, a true test of character that calls upon our ability to maintain grace under fire. Stoic philosophy provides us with timeless wisdom to navigate these moments, emphasizing self-control, dignity, and a focus on what truly matters, our inner state. Among the most effective and often underestimated responses to disrespect is the silent stare, a deliberate act of calm that communicates quiet confidence. Picture this. You're in a tense workplace meeting, presenting your ideas with enthusiasm, only to be cut off repeatedly by a colleague determined to undermine you. The tension in the room rises, and the eyes of everyone present are fixed on you, waiting to see how you'll react. Instead of raising your voice or engaging in a verbal duel, you pause, lean back in your chair, and meet the offender's gaze with calm, steady eyes. You say nothing. No sharp words, no dramatic gestures, just a composed, silent stare. In that moment, the dynamics shift. You've said more with your silence than you ever could with words. This act is not about intimidation or passive aggression. It's about demonstrating emotional control and respect for yourself. The silent stare is a subtle yet profound form of communication that signals to the other person, and to everyone else watching, that you won't be drawn into their negativity. It's as though you're saying, your attempt to provoke me won't succeed because I value my peace far more than engaging in your conflict. The power of this tactic lies in its simplicity, requiring neither physical strength nor harsh words, but merely the ability to stay composed and unshaken. This method beautifully embodies the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control. You cannot control others' behavior or their disrespectful comments, but you can control your response. Disrespect often aims to elicit an emotional reaction, whether it's anger, frustration, or defensiveness. The silent stare denies them that victory. Instead, it shifts the discomfort back to the provocateur, as they are left to grapple with the realization that their tactics have failed. This approach not only protects your peace but also serves as a powerful lesson in self-mastery, elevating you above petty conflicts. Consider the modern story of Maria, a young manager whose leadership was constantly challenged by a subordinate intent on disrupting her meetings. Each time she spoke, he interrupted with dismissive comments, clearly trying to undermine her authority. At first, Maria was tempted to argue, but then she remembered the Stoic principle of emotional restraint. Instead of engaging in a verbal battle, she decided to try something different. The next time he interrupted, she stopped mid-sentence, leaned back in her chair, and met his eyes with a calm, unwavering stare. The room grew silent. The subordinate, uncomfortable under her gaze, eventually stopped speaking. Over time, Maria's calm demeanor discouraged the interruptions, and her team began to adopt her composed approach. This quiet strength became a hallmark of her leadership, earning her the respect of her colleagues and the trust of her superiors. Now take a moment to reflect on your own experiences. How do you typically react when faced with disrespect? Do you snap back, withdraw, or feel the need to explain yourself? What if you could respond differently? Not with anger or justification, but with a composed silence that speaks volumes. Imagine the strength you could convey by refusing to let someone else's behavior dictate your emotional state. The silent stare is a reminder that you are in control of your reactions, no matter how chaotic the external circumstances may be. This is just one of the many Stoic secrets for dealing with life's challenges with dignity and grace. By embracing this tactic, you prioritize your inner tranquility over fleeting conflicts, setting a standard for how you expect to be treated. The deeper lesson here is that self-respect is the foundation of external respect. When you value your peace and refuse to engage in unnecessary drama, you communicate to others that you are not easily shaken, and that your dignity is non-negotiable. The cue. Next time you face disrespect, resist the urge to react immediately. Instead, take a deep breath, pause, and let your silence do the talking. Observe how the situation shifts. You may find that this quiet confidence not only preserves your peace, but also earns you a new level of respect. After all, as the Stoics teach us, the path to true strength lies in mastering ourselves. Remember, respect begins with how you carry yourself, and when you hold yourself to that standard, the world often rises to meet it. So, embrace the silent. Stare, not as a weapon but as a shield, and watch how your calm resilience transforms the world around you. Number 2. Set clear boundaries. Setting clear boundaries is one of the most powerful tools in modern Stoicism to navigate disrespect and preserve your inner tranquility. Boundaries are not walls meant to isolate you, but bridges that define how you wish to connect with others in a way that respects your values and dignity. Without clear limits, it becomes all too easy for others to overstep, often unintentionally leaving you feeling disregarded and drained. Establishing boundaries is not merely about saying no or rejecting others. It's about affirming your own worth and creating an environment where mutual respect can flourish. For instance, if someone consistently interrupts or dismisses your ideas, calmly but firmly expressing that you value being heard and won't tolerate such behavior sets a respectful yet assertive tone. Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Setting boundaries reflects this wisdom, empowering you to protect your emotional and mental space without surrendering your peace to the whims of others. The essence of boundary setting lies in clarity and intention. When you articulate your expectations, you communicate your values, signaling what is and isn't acceptable. This practice reinforces your self-respect, ensuring that you do not compromise your integrity to appease others. In modern life, where demands and distractions often test our patience, boundaries become essential to maintaining focus and balance. They allow you to safeguard your time, energy, and emotional well-being, freeing you to pursue meaningful goals without being derailed by unnecessary conflicts or toxic dynamics. Epictetus reminds us, "No person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to want what they don't have." Similarly, boundaries are a conscious choice to seek what nurtures you and reject what diminishes you, offering a path to self-mastery and inner peace. Establishing boundaries also fosters healthier relationships. By defining how you wish to be treated, you invite others to engage with you in a way that aligns with mutual respect and understanding. This doesn't mean imposing rigid rules or being punitive. It's about creating a framework where trust and kindness can thrive. If someone pushes against these limits, it's an opportunity to stand firm, not with anger, but with calm resolve. This is a form of self-care, a reminder that your needs are just as valid as anyone else's. Seneca aptly stated, "He who is brave is free." By courageously setting boundaries, you liberate yourself from the burden of resentment and the trap of allowing others to dictate your emotional state. Over time, this leads to deeper, more fulfilling connections where respect becomes the foundation rather than an exception. Boundaries are also an antidote to emotional exhaustion. Without them, you may find yourself stretched thin, constantly, trying to accommodate others at the expense of your well-being. Modern Stoicism teaches us that our most valuable resource is not wealth or status, but our inner peace and resilience. By setting boundaries, you prioritize your peace, ensuring that your interactions enrich rather than deplete you. Imagine a cup that must be full to pour into others. Without boundaries, you risk emptying it entirely. Boundaries help keep your cup replenished, allowing you to give from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. In a world that often equates boundary setting with selfishness, it's vital to recognize that it is, in fact, an act of self-respect and respect for others. When you define how you wish to engage with the world, you model integrity and encourage those around you to do the same. This practice not only enhances your personal relationships, but also aligns with the Stoic principle of living in harmony with nature, creating balance and order in the chaos of human interactions. As you navigate the complexities of modern life, remember that boundaries are a declaration of your values and a shield for your well-being. By embracing this practice, you cultivate an environment where respect and understanding become the norm, empowering you to lead a life of purpose and equanimity. Number 3. Stop explaining your choices. In today's world, it's all too easy to fall into the trap of constantly feeling the need to explain your choices. Whether in your personal life or professional career, the pressures to justify your decisions can become overwhelming. When others don't respect the choices you make and continually question your reasoning, it can feel like an endless cycle of defending who you are and why you do what you do. This constant justification drains your emotional and mental energy, ultimately eroding your sense of self-respect. It's important to recognize that you owe no one an explanation for how you live your life, particularly when their questions come from a place of disrespect or misunderstanding. Marcus Aurelius, a leading figure in Stoicism, wisely stated, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." In essence, you don't need to get entangled in defending your actions to people who aren't willing to understand them. Your decisions should speak for themselves, and the more you find yourself explaining them, the more you risk giving others the power to diminish your confidence and undermine your self-worth. Think about this for a moment. When you make a choice, whether it's embarking on a new career path, changing your lifestyle, or following a personal passion, the last thing you need is someone constantly questioning you. It's as if they expect you to defend every move you make, as if their approval is required for you to feel validated in your choices. Instead of feeling pressured to offer explanations, a simple statement like, "because I wanted to," or "it felt right for me," is often all you need to bring an end to the line of questioning. You don't owe anyone anything more than your integrity and your ability to live authentically. The truth is, explaining your choices to those who don't respect you doesn't foster understanding or bring you closer to validation. It only opens the door to further criticism and leaves you feeling exhausted and diminished. Modern Stoicism emphasizes the importance of emotional independence and autonomy. In the Stoic view, your choices should be driven by your internal values, not by the need for others' approval. When you stop over-explaining your actions, you do more than protect your mental and emotional energy. You safeguard your self-respect. The people who genuinely care about you will respect your decisions without needing to know every minute detail. Those who matter will understand that you make decisions based on your own values, rather than the expectations or opinions of others. By practicing this principle, you grant yourself the freedom to live on your own terms, unburdened by the need to justify yourself to anyone. This autonomy brings a sense of power and confidence, knowing that your worth isn't contingent upon others' approval, but upon your own ability to live in alignment with your principles. Over time, this practice of not explaining yourself will lead to an increased sense of self-worth and confidence. You will begin to trust your own judgment more deeply, and you'll no longer feel the need to seek validation from others. This shift is about reclaiming control over your life and living according to your own principles, rather than feeling the weight of constantly justifying your decisions. As Epictetus, another influential Stoic philosopher, noted, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. By choosing not to explain yourself, you take full control over your narrative, making decisions that are in harmony with your own values, not dictated by the demands or opinions of others." In today's society, where everyone feels entitled to share their opinions and critique your every decision, learning to stand firm in your choices without seeking external validation is a powerful act of self-respect. Modern Stoicism teaches us to prioritize our peace of mind and mental clarity over the fleeting comfort of others' approval. Letting go of the need to explain yourself allows you to cultivate a deep sense of inner peace and self-assurance. You will no longer feel the need to seek validation from those who don't respect you or your decisions. This shift in mindset will bring you closer to living a life that is true to yourself, free from the influence of those who fail to understand your choices. Your worth is not defined by the opinions of others. It is intrinsic, shaped by the decisions you make, the values you uphold, and the actions you take. Embracing this Stoic principle makes you not only more resilient to disrespect, but also more self-aware and in control of your own life, ready to live it with the authenticity and integrity that only comes from within. You've just taken a big step toward mastering yourself. Now, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below with a "Stop explaining, start living" tagline to commit to stopping explaining when it comes to disrespect. Share with us and let us know how you're embracing the power of Stoicism in your life. Keep moving forward. Your transformation is happening. Number 4. Keep your distance. One powerful and transformative way to handle disrespect in your life is by maintaining your distance from those who continually perpetuate it. This doesn't necessarily mean you have to completely sever ties with people, but it does mean creating the space you need to protect your emotional and mental well-being. When you are consistently surrounded by someone who undermines you, makes hurtful remarks, or refuses to acknowledge your value, it takes a toll. Over time, you'll feel drained, lose confidence, and find yourself emotionally depleted. In these situations, stepping back allows you the time to process everything and assess whether the relationship is worth salvaging or if it's time to move on. It's important to note that distance doesn't mean being petty or starting conflicts. Rather, it's a protective measure for self-preservation and a way to assert your right to be treated with respect. Have you ever noticed how things seem clearer when you step away from the chaos? It's often when we distance ourselves from toxic situations that we can gain perspective. When you remove yourself from negative energy, it gives you the space to regain your clarity, your composure, and your strength. Distance provides the mental space to reevaluate the situation with a fresh mindset. This newfound clarity can help you understand what's truly important to you and what you're willing to tolerate. You start realizing that your peace of mind is too valuable to allow others to disturb it with negativity or disrespect. Taking a step back also sends a very clear message to those who disrespect you, that you won't tolerate being treated poorly. It's an act of self-respect, a way of saying that your peace and dignity matter. For example, when someone consistently disrespects your boundaries or belittles your ideas, distancing yourself from them isn't an act of avoidance. It's an act of empowerment. It's a way of telling them that you have chosen to protect your emotional and mental health. You don't have to confront them in a dramatic way, nor do you have to argue with them. Simply by removing yourself, even if temporarily, you create the space needed to regain your energy and find strength. Let me share a story that might resonate with you. Sarah, a colleague, often found herself dismissed by a peer at work. Every time she spoke in meetings, her ideas were either ignored or belittled, and despite her best efforts to assert herself, she felt more and more emotionally drained. It became a cycle of frustration. One day, Sarah decided that enough was enough. Instead of continuing to engage in the same fruitless exchanges, she distanced herself from this colleague. She stopped seeking casual conversations with him and focused her energy on collaborations with others who genuinely valued her input. By distancing herself, Sarah found clarity. She began to realize how much more energy and creativity she had when she wasn't constantly weighed down by negativity. That simple change brought about a shift in her mindset and her work. Now, I want you to think about your own life. Are there relationships or situations that consistently leave you feeling emotionally exhausted or disrespected? Take a moment to reflect on where you are investing your energy. What would happen if you decided to distance yourself from people or situations that don't treat you with the dignity you deserve? By practicing this Stoic secret of keeping your distance, you tap into one of the most powerful principles in Stoicism, not allowing others to disturb your inner peace. When you Remove yourself from disrespectful circumstances. You regain control of your emotional sovereignty. It's not about avoiding confrontation, but rather choosing which battles are truly worth your time and energy. The truth is, your peace of mind and sense of self-worth are priceless. You have the power to decide what's worth your emotional energy and what isn't. So, take a step back when necessary, and watch how your relationships and overall mental health improve. By making this conscious choice, you reinforce your commitment to yourself and your well-being. As you practice this art of keeping your distance, you set the tone for how you expect to be treated. Remember, distance isn't about rejection. It's about choosing self-respect and emotional well-being. Use this Stoic secret whenever you feel that others are crossing your boundaries or draining your energy. It's a tool you can wield at any time, especially when the world feels overwhelming or when you find yourself disrespected. You hold the power to control who you allow into your life and how you allow them to affect you. Your peace, dignity, and mental health are worth protecting, and keeping your distance is a powerful way to do just that. Number 5. Hold your head high. One of the most effective ways to respond to disrespect is simply by holding your head high. While this may seem like basic advice, it carries deep meaning and profound significance. The act of holding your head high is not merely about your physical posture. It symbolizes your inner strength, confidence, and self-respect. When you walk with good posture and project confidence, you communicate to the world that you are unshaken by any disrespect, no matter its form. It shows that you are grounded in your own sense of worth, unaffected by the negative behaviors of others. Epictetus, the famous Stoic philosopher, wisely stated, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This powerful quote reminds us that true freedom comes not from the external circumstances around us, but from our ability to master our own emotions and perceptions. When someone tries to undermine or belittle you, their goal is often to destabilize your self-confidence, to make you question your own worth. But by holding your head high, you take back control and strip them of their power over you. You become impervious to their attempts to diminish your value because you are anchored in your self-respect. In today's world, it can feel like there's no shortage of judgment, whether it's in the workplace, within social circles, or even on social media platforms. Negativity is everywhere. But a person who holds their head high and carries themselves with confidence in the face of these pressures becomes a figure of respect. This isn't just about physical stature, it's about emotional resilience. If someone insults you, makes an unnecessary remark, or tries to provoke you, how you react is far more important than what they say. By standing tall, making eye contact, and walking away without reacting, you send a powerful message. I am not defined by your words or actions. This non-verbal declaration communicates resilience. You don't need to engage in petty exchanges because you know your own worth. You show that you are unaffected by their disrespect, that their attempts to shake your peace have failed. It is a quiet but powerful statement of strength. As you consistently carry yourself with confidence, you begin to build a mental fortress. The more you stand tall and show respect for yourself, the more others will respect you. When people see that you consistently refuse to tolerate anything less than respect, they begin to recognize your value. Over time, this behavior builds a reputation, and you will find that people treat you the way you carry yourself, confidently and respectfully. This principle aligns perfectly with modern Stoicism, which teaches that our emotional state should not be dependent on others' actions or opinions. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius believed, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By holding your head high, you reinforce that your happiness and dignity depend on your thoughts, not on external influences. As you embrace this philosophy, you transform holding your head high from a reactive posture into a proactive stance in life. It becomes a daily practice that reinforces your inner strength, your resolve, and your unshakable sense of self-worth. You show that you will not engage in petty games, that your peace and dignity are non-negotiable. This principle applies to all aspects of modern life. Whether you are dealing with conflicts at work, navigating social interactions, or managing Your online presence holding your head high is a valuable tool. It serves as a reminder that you are not a victim of others' actions or opinions. Instead, you are someone who controls your own narrative. When you consistently practice this approach, others will begin to treat you with the respect you deserve, not because you demand it, but because you effortlessly convey your value. By holding your head high, you assert your worth. And as the Stoics would say, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Through this simple yet powerful act, you reclaim your emotional independence, strengthen your resolve, and inspire respect in others. It is a practice that, when consistently applied, leads to greater peace, self-respect, and a more resilient, empowered life. If you've made it this far, you're clearly someone who values wisdom and inner strength. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment saying, "I hold my head high with confidence." Or share your thoughts on how you maintain your self-respect in the face of adversity. This is a journey of self-discovery and growth, and it's only just beginning. Stay with us, and together we'll continue embracing Stoic principles that empower us to live with dignity, purpose, and resilience. The 5 methods outlined above provide a foundation for dealing with disrespect in a stoic and empowering way. By practicing these techniques, you can maintain your dignity, protect your mental peace, and rise above negativity with grace and strength. 6 methods for handling disrespect. While these strategies help you respond effectively to disrespect, there's more to learn about managing such situations and fostering respectful interactions. In the next section, we'll explore 6 additional methods to handle disrespect, offering deeper insights and actionable steps to strengthen your emotional resilience. Number 1. Listen without reacting. Listening without reacting is an essential skill for navigating disrespect and is a cornerstone of modern Stoicism. In a society where emotional outbursts are often celebrated as natural reactions to disrespect, the ability to remain composed and silent is not just a display of personal strength, but also an embodiment of Stoic wisdom. Choosing to pause before responding allows you to regain control over the situation, enabling you to act based on reflection, rather than impulse. By doing so, you remove yourself from the emotional charge that typically comes with disrespectful behavior, creating an opportunity to process your thoughts before responding if necessary. When someone disrespects you, whether through harsh words, dismissive actions, or unjust criticism, the instinct may be to retaliate. However, reacting impulsively usually escalates the situation, making it more difficult to resolve. As Marcus Aurelius once wisely said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This highlights the fact that we are not controlled by external circumstances, but by how we interpret and respond to them. By not reacting immediately, you break the cycle of emotional contagion and maintain mastery over your own emotions, which is the essence of emotional intelligence, a central principle in modern Stoicism. Remaining silent when disrespected does more than protect your peace. It subtly forces the person to confront their behavior. They might expect you to react, but when you don't, their words lose their impact. Silence removes the emotional fuel that typically drives the interaction and gives you time to reflect on how to proceed. Over time, this strategy discourages disrespectful behavior, as individuals begin to realize that you cannot be provoked easily. Your silence becomes a powerful statement of your emotional control and self-respect, encouraging others to treat you with the same dignity. In the face of disrespect, silence provides mental clarity. Instead of reacting defensively, you can listen, process, and choose whether to respond or let the matter pass. This is especially useful in situations where you are criticized unfairly. For instance, if someone attacks you in public or undermines your efforts, rather than jumping into a defense, practice the Stoic principle of taking a deep breath and listening. In doing so, you create space for a response that reflects your integrity and calmness, rather than being dragged into a combative exchange. This approach is not just about preserving composure in the moment. It is about teaching others that your emotional state is governed by your reasoning, not by their actions. It shows that you are not easily manipulated by their words, and that your emotional peace is not something they can disrupt. In fact, this practice helps to cultivate emotional resilience, allowing you to maintain your focus and self-worth in the face of negativity. As Epictetus, another great Stoic philosopher, said, "We are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens." By mastering your thoughts and emotional responses, you gain the ability to navigate challenging interactions with poise and grace. In the long run, listening without reacting builds an emotional resilience that shields you from the harmful effects of disrespect. As you practice this discipline, your sense of self-respect and inner peace will grow stronger, making it more difficult for others to shake your emotional stability. You will find that over time, the toll that disrespect once took on you will diminish as you no longer give in to emotional reactions. Instead, you develop an unwavering sense of calm and composure, which helps to foster more meaningful and respectful interactions. This practice of emotional independence aligns with the core tenets of modern Stoicism, encouraging you to remain grounded and true to your values. You gain control over your life by not letting external circumstances dictate your emotional state. As you become more adept at this practice, you'll find that your interactions become more thoughtful, your relationships more authentic, and your emotional resilience stronger. In today's world, where quick reactions and emotional outbursts are often seen as appropriate responses to disrespect, the ability to listen without reacting becomes even more valuable. It allows you to handle conflict with grace, engage in meaningful dialogue, and maintain your inner peace amidst chaos. Embracing this Stoic principle helps you stay steady, grounded, and true to yourself, regardless of external pressures. This emotional mastery is not just a way to respond to disrespect, but a life skill that enhances your ability to navigate all aspects of life with dignity and self-control. By cultivating this skill, you can transform your life, relationships, and sense of self in profound ways. Number 2. Demonstrate self-respect through actions. Handling disrespect is never easy, but one of the most powerful ways to deal with it is by demonstrating your self-respect through your actions, rather than relying solely on words. While words can be dismissed or forgotten, actions speak louder and are a true reflection of your character. Your behavior reveals your values and the level of respect you have for yourself. When you act in a way that honors your own worth, you are not just standing up for yourself, but also setting a powerful example for others to follow. Through consistent actions, you teach others how to treat you, and most importantly, you teach yourself how to maintain your sense of dignity. Self-respect is built on making decisions that align with your values, even when it's not easy. Consider a situation when someone was late to a meeting or changed plans last minute, disregarding your time and effort. Instead of simply accepting this behavior or passively saying nothing, demonstrating self-respect in that moment means choosing not to tolerate it. You might limit your time with that person, adjust your availability, or even choose to walk away from the situation entirely. It's about creating and maintaining boundaries that reflect your worth. This can be uncomfortable at times, but these boundaries reinforce the idea that you won't compromise your standards or values for anyone, no matter the situation. Such decisions, while they may seem small in the moment, carry immense power. They tell the world, "I value myself and I won't accept anything less than the respect I deserve." When you demonstrate self-respect through your actions, you communicate to others how you expect to be treated. People observe how you carry yourself and are influenced by your behavior. If you stand firm in your boundaries and consistently make choices that honor your own worth, others will learn to treat you with that same respect. Your actions over time create a clear message about your self-value that people cannot ignore. It's essential to understand that demonstrating self-respect isn't about being perfect or never making mistakes. It's about choosing respect in every interaction, even when facing disrespect. When you stay aligned with your values and uphold your boundaries, you gradually build a strong sense of self-worth and confidence. This sense of inner strength helps protect you from negative influences and keeps you grounded when challenges arise. Your actions will consistently speak louder than any words, and people will start to recognize you as someone who values themselves and expects others to do the same. Let me share a story that might resonate with you. A few years ago, I worked with a colleague who frequently undermined me in meetings. He would make dismissive comments, take credit for my ideas, and act like my contributions didn't matter. At first, I would try to defend myself with words, hoping he would listen or understand. But over time, I realized that words alone weren't enough. I began to demonstrate my self-respect through my actions. When he tried to take credit for my work, I would calmly and confidently say, "Actually, that idea was mine, and I'm proud of it." I didn't raise my voice or get emotional, but I stood firm in my worth. Over time, I noticed a shift. He began to treat me with more respect, and our professional interactions became much more positive. By demonstrating my self-respect through actions rather than relying on words, I was able to change the dynamic of our relationship and create a more respectful environment. Now, I want you to think about your own life. Are there areas where you've allowed disrespect to slide because you're afraid of setting boundaries? How can you start demonstrating your self-respect in small, everyday actions? You might not have all the answers today, but just starting to reflect on these questions is the first step toward positive change. When you choose to hold yourself to high standards and refuse to settle for less, you are teaching others how to treat you. More importantly, you are reinforcing your own self-worth and self-respect. So ask yourself, what actions can I take today to show the world and myself that I deserve respect? Remember, demonstrating self-respect isn't about perfection. It's about standing firm in your boundaries, acting in alignment with your values, and showing yourself and others that you are worthy of respect. Over time, this practice will not only help you deal with disrespect, but also increase your confidence and strengthen your ability to maintain healthy, fulfilling relationships. The Stoic secrets of self-respect will help protect you from negative influences and empower you to live a life where you are treated with the dignity you deserve. Number 3. Stay calm in every situation. In dealing with disrespect, staying calm is not merely a skill. It is an intentional and strategic decision that gives us the power to maintain control over our own emotional state, protect our peace, and ultimately shape the way others engage with us. Every day we are presented with situations where disrespect may come our way, whether it's from a colleague at work, a friend, a family member, or even a stranger. The natural human impulse when faced with such disrespect is often to react with anger, defensiveness, or frustration. However, these emotional responses only fuel the situation, escalating the tension and giving the person who disrespects us more power. In the heat of the moment, it might feel like the right thing to do, but reacting impulsively usually results in regret and further conflict. This is where the teachings of Stoicism come into play, offering a better way to handle these emotional triggers. As the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." By choosing not to mirror the negativity and instead responding with calmness, we break the cycle of emotional escalation and show others that we are not easily provoked. Modern Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control the actions or behaviors of others, we always have the power to control how we respond to them. This is where our true strength lies. It is in our reactions to others' disrespect that we reveal our emotional independence. By maintaining composure, we demonstrate a powerful form of self-mastery. It may not always be easy, but by practicing this daily, we train ourselves to remain emotionally stable and grounded, regardless of external circumstances. Think about a scenario where someone cuts you off mid-conversation with a dismissive comment. The natural inclination might be to snap back in defense, to stand up for yourself immediately. But this reaction only perpetuates the conflict and invites more negativity into the conversation. Instead, if you take a deep breath, pause, and respond calmly, you create a sense of control in the situation. This small but powerful act of remaining grounded can completely shift the dynamic, disarming the other person and diffusing the potential for escalation. By staying calm, you refuse to let their disrespect dictate your emotional state. You show that no one has the power to disrupt your peace of mind unless you allow them to. This approach to calmness is not a sign of weakness, rather, it is a profound sign of inner strength. It takes far more strength to remain composed in the face of disrespect than it does to react impulsively. Every time you practice this emotional restraint, you are building resilience. This is a key aspect of modern Stoicism, where the focus is on developing emotional endurance and equanimity in the face of life's challenges. The more you embrace this form of emotional control, the easier it becomes to stay calm in difficult situations, and the stronger you become as a result. This practice protects your emotional well-being by helping you avoid draining conflicts and unnecessary stress. By responding thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally, you protect your energy and, in turn, your peace of mind. Furthermore, this calmness becomes a characteristic that others will start to recognize and respect. People are drawn to those who are emotionally stable, those who remain composed under pressure, and those who refuse to be manipulated by negative energy. Over time, others will begin to treat you with greater consideration and respect because they will recognize that you are not someone who is easily shaken. This respect is not something you demand, but something you earn by consistently demonstrating your emotional maturity. As you continue to practice this emotional discipline, you become a role model for others to follow. Your calmness will not only protect you from further disrespect, but will influence the behavior of those around you, encouraging them to engage with you more thoughtfully and with more respect. By embracing the Stoic principle of emotional control, you are not only safeguarding your own peace, but also setting a standard for how you expect to be treated. When you choose to remain calm, you establish the boundaries that others must respect. This practice teaches us that our emotional state is entirely within our control. We may not be able to control what others say or do, but we always have the power to decide how we respond. In doing so, we rise above external negativity and become the kind of person who commands respect, not through force or intimidation, but through the unwavering steadiness of our presence. The Stoic mindset allows us to transform the way we deal with disrespect, offering us a powerful tool for maintaining our integrity and peace in a world that can often be chaotic and emotionally charged. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Before we move on to the next topic, I want to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude for your time and attention. I would love for you to comment below with a slogan or short phrase that summarizes today's message, such as, "Stay calm, stay strong." Your comment not only shows your participation, but it also inspires us to continue creating content that truly resonates with you. Now, let's explore the next truth. Number 4. Address disrespect directly but respectfully. When confronted with disrespect, one of the most effective strategies is to address it directly, but in a manner that upholds both your dignity and that of the other person involved. Modern Stoicism emphasizes the importance of maintaining self-respect and emotional control in situations like these. Responding to disrespect does not mean entering into a confrontation or reacting with aggression. Instead, it involves calmly and assertively expressing that certain behaviors are unacceptable. The key is to address the situation with clarity and composure. For instance, if a colleague consistently undermines your ideas during meetings, rather than letting the disrespect slide and fostering resentment, you could calmly express your discomfort by saying something like, "I would appreciate it if my contributions are respected." This direct yet composed response halts the behavior without escalating the situation. It asserts your boundaries while also maintaining an air of respect for the other person. It's crucial to recognize that addressing disrespect directly does not imply being rude or retaliatory. It's about asserting yourself in a firm yet respectful manner. This approach allows you to maintain your composure while ensuring that your values and boundaries are clear. Stoic philosophy teaches that emotions should not control us. What we can control is how we choose to respond to circumstances. By calmly setting boundaries, You are not just halting the immediate disrespect, but you are also teaching the other person how to engage with you moving forward. It is not simply about correcting a particular behavior. It's about creating an environment where mutual respect can flourish. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This concept can be applied here. Not only is wealth about material possessions, but true wealth lies in the emotional strength and peace we cultivate, allowing us to handle difficult situations without being overwhelmed. Addressing disrespect directly is not about winning an argument or putting the other person down. Instead, it's about reinforcing your own values and establishing a respectful atmosphere where everyone involved can thrive. When you speak up in a clear, respectful manner, you are not only addressing the disrespect but also setting clear expectations for how you wish to be treated. This creates a balanced exchange, and by doing so, you prevent further issues from arising. Over time, this approach will help you become more confident in asserting yourself, reinforcing your self-respect, and making it clear that you will not tolerate behavior that compromises your dignity. It serves as a reminder that your worth is not defined by how others treat you, but by your ability to stand firm in your convictions. Furthermore, consistently addressing disrespect with calm and clarity teaches others how to interact with you. Moving forward, it sends the message that you value yourself and will not hesitate to speak up when necessary. This approach does more than just stop the immediate disrespect. It sets a precedent for future interactions. In today's world, where personal and professional boundaries are frequently tested, addressing disrespect firmly but respectfully is essential to maintaining a healthy, balanced relationship. Whether in the workplace or in personal life, direct communication becomes a powerful tool in not only maintaining your self-respect, but also fostering a culture of mutual respect. In your relationships, by staying calm and direct, you serve as an example for others to follow, demonstrating the importance of treating people with dignity. This practice is perfectly aligned with the core tenets of modern Stoicism, which places great emphasis on maintaining inner peace and emotional control, regardless of external circumstances. By taking the time to directly address disrespect while remaining respectful, you reinforce your dignity and demonstrate that you are in control of your emotional responses. You make it clear that you will not allow others to dictate your sense of self-worth. As this practice becomes second nature, your ability to assert yourself without hostility will lead to healthier, more respectful relationships. In turn, you not only protect your own emotional well-being, but also foster an environment where others are encouraged to treat you with the respect you deserve. Through this, you are not only standing up for yourself but also reinforcing the values of dignity, respect, and mutual understanding that are at the heart of modern Stoicism. Number 5. Choose positive relationships. The relationships you choose to invest in can have a profound impact on your emotional well-being. Think about the people in your life right now. Are they uplifting you, or are they constantly bringing you down? If you find yourself surrounded by individuals who consistently disrespect you, it's only a matter of time before that negativity starts to chip away at your self-worth. It's like trying to carry a backpack full of rocks. It weighs you down and you become exhausted over time. But on the other hand, when you intentionally choose to surround yourself with positive, supportive, and respectful people, you'll notice a significant boost in your confidence and sense of self-respect. Healthy relationships built on mutual trust, understanding, and respect create an environment where you can truly thrive. These relationships allow you to show up as your authentic self, free from judgment or fear of rejection. For example, when you spend time with friends or colleagues who genuinely appreciate you and value your opinions, you're more likely to feel empowered, validated, and heard. These kinds of relationships nurture your sense of self-worth and remind you of your value, which in turn reinforces the importance of setting boundaries and standing up for yourself. Have you ever experienced the difference between being around someone who lifts you up versus someone who drains you? Think about how your energy shifts in each situation. When you're with those who support and respect you, it feels like you're growing and thriving. But when you're surrounded by people who belittle you or take advantage of your time, It can feel like you're shrinking and constantly questioning your worth. Choosing positive relationships isn't about expecting perfection from others, it's about being intentional with where you invest your time and energy. Sure, no relationship is flawless and there will always be ups and downs. But the key is to prioritize your well-being by nurturing connections that contribute to your growth and happiness. For example, if you're consistently giving more than you're receiving, it's time to ask yourself, is this relationship serving me, or is it depleting me? Over time, positive relationships will create a sense of security and inner strength within you that makes it easier to handle disrespect from the outside world. When you have a solid foundation of healthy connections, the negativity from others becomes less impactful, and you're able to rise above it with grace and composure. Think about a time in your life when you were surrounded by uplifting people. Didn't you feel stronger, more confident, and more capable of dealing with challenges? Now contrast that with a time when you were around individuals who didn't have your best interests at heart. How did that affect your mindset and your ability to handle disrespect or negativity? The power of choosing the right relationships cannot be underestimated. These people act as a buffer against the harshness of the outside world and create an environment where you can grow, heal, and succeed. The Stoic secrets teach us that we can't always control the people around us, but we can control who we allow into our inner circle. And when we consciously choose relationships that nurture our self-worth, we create a space that helps us thrive, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So, here's a question for you. Are the relationships in your life helping you grow, or are they draining your energy? By choosing to invest in positive, respectful relationships, you're making a conscious decision to protect your emotional well-being. Surround yourself with people who remind you of your worth, and you'll find that handling disrespect from others becomes much easier. You'll start to notice that your confidence grows, your boundaries strengthen, and your overall well-being improves. Remember, it's not about cutting ties with everyone who isn't perfect, but rather being mindful of where you invest your time and energy. By doing so, you align yourself with those who help you become the best version of yourself. And in turn, you'll be able to stand tall in the face of disrespect, knowing that you have the support and self-respect you need to thrive. Number 6. Learn how to let go. Letting go of toxic relationships or situations that no longer serve your well-being is a crucial step in maintaining both your self-respect and emotional stability. In life, despite our best efforts to nurture and preserve relationships, there are times when some people or situations continually disrespect us, drain our energy, and hinder our growth. Modern Stoicism teaches us that we have the power to control our responses, but there are also times when we must take conscious steps to protect our peace. In such instances, learning how to let go becomes essential, not as an act of defeat or indifference, but as an act of profound self-preservation. When you choose to walk away from a toxic relationship or situation, you're not giving up. You're making the wise decision to prioritize your mental and emotional health. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." If you've attempted to address the disrespect repeatedly without any change, it may be time to distance yourself from that person or situation. Letting go can be difficult, especially when there's a deep emotional attachment or history involved. We often fear that walking away might make us seem weak, uncaring, or selfish. However, modern Stoicism teaches that the ability to release what no longer aligns with our values is a form of strength, not weakness. When we hold on to people or situations that drain us, we're merely allowing them to control our energy, emotions, and focus. By letting go, we regain control over our own lives and emotions. This isn't about abandoning people in need. It's about setting boundaries for your own peace and well-being. Just as a gardener must prune away dead branches to allow new growth, letting go creates the space needed for healthier, more supportive relationships to blossom. It allows you to surround yourself with people who uplift and respect you, which strengthens your sense of self-worth and emotional resilience. This process of releasing toxic influences can be incredibly liberating, It clears the mental and emotional clutter that accumulates from negative relationships, allowing you to focus on what truly matters: your own growth, happiness, and values. With each toxic relationship or situation you let go of, you not only protect your emotional health, but also create room for new experiences and people who are in alignment with your vision for your life. Modern Stoicism teaches us that we have the power to shape our destiny by choosing our responses and the influences we allow into our lives. This empowerment comes when we make choices that reflect our deepest values and ensure that we're not held back by those who do not value or respect us. By letting go of people or situations that no longer serve us, we strengthen our emotional boundaries and reclaim our inner peace, allowing us to live with greater clarity and confidence. It is often said that you can't change the people around you, but you can change the people you choose to be around. This wisdom rings true in the context of letting go. While we can't control the behavior of others, we can control who we choose to allow into our lives and how we respond to them. Letting go of toxic influences is not an easy task. It requires self-awareness, courage, and a deep understanding of your own worth. But as you practice this, you will begin to see how freeing it can be to walk away from relationships or situations that drain your energy, and you'll gain a deeper respect for yourself in the process. In the end, letting go is one of the most empowering acts of self-care you can engage in. It's a way of acknowledging your own value, taking back your emotional power, and ensuring that you are no longer held hostage by the negativity of others. With each release, you move closer to living a life that is aligned with your values, free from the emotional burdens of toxic relationships. It's about having the clarity to see that your well-being is worth more than the weight of people or circumstances that refuse to treat you with respect. And in doing so, you create the space for more peace, confidence, and a sense of purpose as you move forward in life. As we wrap up this video, I want to encourage you to start applying these Stoic principles in your daily life. By incorporating them into your interactions, you will not only protect your peace, but also develop a deeper sense of emotional strength and self-worth. Remember, how you respond to disrespect directly influences how others treat you. So, begin setting clear boundaries, maintaining your composure, and always demonstrating self-respect. The more you practice, the more natural it will become to handle life's challenges with grace. Now I'd love to hear from you. What methods have worked for you when dealing with disrespect? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Stoic in Your Life for more practical Stoic wisdom to help you grow and live authentically. Keep applying these principles and watch how they transform your life for the better. Stay strong, stay peaceful, and remember, respect starts with you.